This segment of the news is brought to you by Journey to Recovery. Take the first step. Call 775-382-1072. News is also brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
Well, I know most of us here at the station were standing outside looking at the sky this morning. Most Americans took a short break today to watch the solar eclipse. This is the first across the country from coast to coast since 1918. Locally, we had a partial eclipse that started just after 10 a.m. 12 states were in the path of totality, and they were able to see the full effects of the eclipse. Well, News 46 spoke to Undersheriff Michael Eisenloffel from the Nye County Sheriff's Office about cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying is actually based on the Nevada definition of bullying. Nevada definition of bullying is a verbal, physical, or written act that is intentional, or a course of conduct that repeatedly exposes the victim to one or more negative actions that is highly offensive to a reasonable person and is designed to cause or actually cause the victim harm or serious emotional distress. So obviously bullying is a serious crime. It's a serious issue on a personal level as well. Cyberbullying, on the other hand, is basically the same form, but it takes place in the realm of social media and other forms of electronic communication devices. It's unfortunately a result of the digital age that we live in today.
The cyberbullying laws kind of are geared towards children, though, right?
Yes, that is correct. There's an NRS that specifically addresses cyberbullying. There's also laws on the books, and have been for a long time, that addresses certain acts that could be defined under cyberbullying. However, there's statutes that prohibit specifically threatening another person or even stalking that person. If the acts don't meet that criteria, then there may not very much in the way of a law or enforcement that can be done. However, a person like that still has the option of pursuing civil action against the offender. The Sheriff's Office has been a part of the FBI's ICAC task force. ICAC stands for Internet Crimes Against Children. The primary goal of the task force is to combat any type of activities along the lines of bullying or exploitation of children that is usually committed via the internet or any other forms of social media or communication. It's unfortunately a nationwide, if not worldwide, phenomena that is seen ever since the beginning of the digital age. The toll that it takes, especially on children, to be victimized online is tremendous. It's a completely different crime than when you're being victimized person to person or in person. You're being victimized from a remote location, possibly by an individual who you don't even know. One form of that utilizes a term called catfishing. Catfishing is basically where an individual online assumes a completely false identity and causes the other person to believe that this identity is a real person. The purpose of this act is usually to convince or compel that person to provide a service or to form a bond, even a relationship. A lot of times victims become very enthralled in that and invest an awful lot of emotional feelings and other time into such relationships.
You've even spoke about that before, sometimes with catfishing with seniors.
Yes, it absolutely happens. Dating sites, there's many legitimate dating sites on there, and if seniors find themselves creating a profile in order to find a relationship online, it's certainly advisable to be very careful of who they speak with and who they start forming relationships with. Unfortunately, as I said, online, you can never be sure that the person you're talking to is in fact that person. It could be someone else. They may have different motives. They may have reasons for doing so. Not all of them are very good, and their intentions are sometimes very negative, in fact.
And for more information, you can call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. Angela Miles talks about jobs today in your Business First Brief.
Topping our news, the U.S. economy is close to capacity with Americans on the job. But there is one troubling caveat. A high number of adults in their working prime are no longer looking for work. The largest demographic happens to be 8 million women with high school educations. Moms staying home to care for their children or aging parents are cited as possible reasons why that group is not looking to get hired. LinkedIn, the social networking site connecting employers to potential employees, is moving into the Motor City. Reports say out of 10 towns, Detroit was chosen as the spot to open up an office. And a study from Career Builder shows employers want to Google you. A majority of hiring managers say they are less likely to interview a job candidate if they can't find information online about the job hunter.
Thanks, Angela. After this break, your PBR report.